Okay, so we're going to go from where we left off earlier. That part was essentially on, or GitHub was not allowing me to connect with it, and that was because I was out of my agent. So I'm going to take over. I'd already used my agent quota for the month. Now I'm using my Teams account with another place instead of my web app. I'm going to call it web. Let's see. Chat GPT. Call it what's left. The name of what would be left. I don't even think I need my web either. I don't like my web. ChatGPT. I know it's already an app. Counter. Backwards. When you have so much allowance. I'm going to do allowance. Okay, ChatGPT allowance. That'll work. I'm going to create. I'm going to finish. So that was the issue, as I suspected from before, that I was working on something. It acted as if I was going into the dev environment or the development sandbox. It had tried to do something in GitHub, and then it also had tried to go into Netfully and into a couple other things. But because I was done with I didn't have anything left of the agent, then there was nothing left for it to do because I had already fulfilled my quota. So we'll see what it does now. I see that we're on generated repository. Let's see. See that we're now on the generated product chat on GitHub. Would you like me to upload file? And if so, which one? Yeah, it's from up. On the I want to track all the tokens and messages in a Teams for all the modules. Specifically the agent, which restarts in UTC time first of each month. The port the 03 5 a few others reset at UTC on Monday. Keep the UTC generic. We'll add another line as well to show for if only Where were we? Okay, so essentially I tried to get into GitHub. I was looking at which one should it do. I'm having it look back to the current or past agent workflow that I was working on. I was trying to do GitHub and then Netflix. So let's see how this works. So you see the agent is working here. I had it in 4.0, and what I was trying to do is I had asked it to do a countdown of how much was left over from my 4.0, from my 0.3, from my 0.3 mini, and it had done the HTML, and I think it was going to put it into GitHub, and then it was going to deploy on Netflix. So we'll see if that's still what it's trying to do, or if it tries to go a different way. I forgot to ask it to work fast, but I'll just do this here. And what had happened earlier is there was no zip file that was created, even though I kept saying there was a zip file. There's nothing in my downloads, there's nothing in my other files, there was nothing on the virtual machine that seemed to go anywhere, because again, I was done with my agent allotment for the month. So now it's still that same month, I'm just using the Teams account and shared the chat and had it kind of pick up from where I left off. So now it's telling the 0.3 mini, okay, it's reading what I said. It gets for Eastern Standard Time, it's 8 o'clock and 7 o'clock, depending on the Eastern Standard Time or when there's the changeover. Okay, it's reading it through. And then it should probably do the net fully, I believe. Or maybe I'll give another example. And I did deploy one. I deployed something I was working on for my daughter for a calendar app that went through Wix and also through GitHub. So we'll see now if this is going to make that tracker. All right. So it's reading the code. Starting web development. No, I had already done that, and I thought it did a good job. There was three things earlier. One was 4.0, one was 0.3, and one was 0.3 mini. It didn't do agent, and I'm not sure it's able to decipher how much agent is, because that's not really a module that combines the operation portion and the deep seek. And those aren't necessarily, you can use each one of the agent and the deep seek in many of the modules. So I'm not sure it's going to be able to differentiate that. But at least I'll know of the 50 how close I am, to the 150 how close I am, and so on and so forth. Okay, it says accessing the JSON script. Try to move over here and see if this says anything. So it's kind of in the way. Okay, put back where it was. Alright, so it's creating a description for the README. Before I did a README and I didn't do too much of it. Okay, I will create the netfully. It's going to use the zip command to compress the directory. It's creating it with Python, okay? The zip command may not be installed. A little file faster. So it's been created, the zip file. 15K. I gave it the name allowance instead of my app and all the other stuff, so I named it something that I wanted to versus what it was going to name it. Open a new tab in the browser. Sometimes I think with a new tab, that works better than navigating from the tab it's on. That way I can go in the virtual machine back and forth as it needs to. It's on GitHub. Alright, so now it's going to bring probably the zip file that I created and drag it into the repository here under chat allowance. Okay, it's uploading the zip file, agent usage tracker, and the directory. Okay, good. File picker, share folder is where it's putting it. Okay. And some of this, I'm not as familiar with some of this the way that it's doing. I may have went about this in a much different way. I've programmed in Python, a little bit in JSON, some other things. And this is kind of looking through the code as it goes through it. It's checking on something, looking at it, it's double checking itself. And then it's essentially the computer talking to a computer, because these codes that it came up with are the way that the computer in GitHub writes the code. So we'll see how good we're going to do here. I may be getting close on my agent allowance for this too. I don't know. I'm not sure if it goes by minute or by message or what. But this is the only thing I've actually used it for on this side of my team. Multi-select is having an issue. So it's going to do control click and hold the control key and click the next one. Okay, so it's essentially trying to do a couple of them at a time instead of just one. Okay, so it's seeing if it registers, it's double clicking. Still within GitHub. I would think at this point it was done with GitHub and on to the other Netflix, but it's having some issues. Okay, so it's opening up the zip file, looks like. Okay, it's adding a commit changes there. Good practice to specify something, so it's going to add a little note called the agent usage tracker tip. Okay, now it looks like it worked 8 minutes here. I've uploaded and added the commit message. Shall I commit changes? Finalize, yes. So one of the drawbacks or something about this is that it's getting a little darker in here. There we go. You can see my ugly mug now a little better. One of the things that I've noticed is you have to keep on these windows, keep them open. Part of what the agent is doing it in front of you. It's as if somebody in the next room or next couple desks down from you or across the world is essentially sharing their screen and saying, hey, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do this. Watch this and see if you want. At any point you can stop me. And then that's also for their protection, I guess, because you're supposed to be able to watch this. I can, as a Mac user, create different tabs and kind of toggle between them, like they were different, that they stand on their own. But with this, okay, now it's doing the Netlify, maybe saying that wrong. And this is where we got hung up again last time as well. And so I gave it something else from another GitHub, and that didn't really seem to go. So we'll see if it actually does it. I haven't seen this time the 3 different instances of my app that I was asking 4003 and then mini high, I believe is what it was. So we'll see what it's going to bring back this time. Okay, so it's dragging and dropping online. It's probably going to have me open this. Oh, looks like it already has it open. I may have selected it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, I've selected agent usage tracker folder. Maybe click upload. Yes. So now it's going to upload in NetFly from and connect GitHub to this one. Upload 8 files. It's going to check with me, the user. Is it a good idea to do 8 files? I'm going to say yes. So I don't know when it's asking me each of these times if that's another tokenization. I don't know if that's another message. It hasn't really told me, and I don't know how close my window is becoming to be it before it's closed. I do know I followed someone on the internet last time who was doing pretty much whatever that individual did. I was trying to mimic it to see what kind of results I would get versus what that individual got. Okay, this is much different than the one I did. Oh, I kind of like this better though. The other one was like I said, 3 different almost white bars. Okay, here it's asking me again. Has been fully developed. The zip archive with all the code was on the repository. Netlify it used to drop to the host app. Okay, this is where I'm at, and I gave it a password. That seems weird to me. Accessing the site from your messaging account and tokens, UTC, ETC. Okay, so it did do both Eastern Standard Time and UTC. And the URL is currently live for 1 hour and is password protected. Netlify drops default. To keep the site on and permanently remove the password, you need to create or log into Netlify and transfer the project to my account. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and transfer. You can now share the link and password with anyone who needs to track the message and token usage for your agents. If you'd like me to help move the project into a persistent Netlify account or deploy it elsewhere or sell, let me know. Okay, so I'm going to give this just another there. Oh, it's because I did too many. I left a double quote, an extra character in there. Okay. Oh, didn't like that yet either. Okay, my dash drop site. Okay. Nice. Okay, so it says messages used remaining is infinite. I don't like that, because that's not true. Countdown at 5 days. Add messages. Not sure what that is. Token used, add token. Not sure what that is either. So this says it's going to remain on here for 1 hour. It seems essentially on a dev site for Netflix, I can go to Vercel. So I think I'll stop right here for right now and possibly put this on Netflix or Vercel for more of a permanent time. So it has 040, 40 mini high, 04 mini, 03 and agent. Agent doesn't really seem like it's getting me anywhere. And I don't know if it's looking at my information at this moment because I've used more than this and it's not counting down. So I'm not sure it's as helpful as one might think. Go back into here and actually stop there.